We're joined by head coach Avery Johnson. We'll get an opening statement from coach and we'll take questions. Coach.
First of all, I'm just so honored, again, that we had a chance to recognize C.M. Newton at halftime. Great man. I know I shared this with you guys the other day, but he was really a friend of our program. He was here for my introductory press conference, and it really makes me emotional because he was here and my college coach, Ben Jobe, was here along with Wimp. And then, you know, both my college coach, Ben Jobe, and CM are not here anymore. But I just really warms my heart to know that our administration, led by our athletic director, Greg Bird, honored CM tonight. And what a special night that we could win a game on a night that we honored him. You know, obviously the game, you know, we struggled a little bit early. You know, we went to our bench, and our bench gave us a huge lift. We finally found a little bit of a rotation there in the first half where we went on a huge run and took control of the game a little bit in the first half and built a little bit of a double-digit lead. Those guys that were in that rotation got exhausted or in foul trouble. We went back to the bench, and then they cut it down our lead a little bit going into the half. In the second half, again, just a bunch of different waves. You know, we're up, they're coming back. We finally fought our way to take control of the boards and rebound the basketball and run and get out in space. And I can go through a list of a number of guys, whether it's Herb or Kyron making plays at the right time, Tevin Mack making timely threes, Petty taking the ball strong, something that we didn't see from him last year, strong to the basket. Dante doing what he normally does for us. We missed a couple of easy shots here and there. I think AJ missed one or two in the first half. But overall, this was our best defensive performance from a defensive efficiency standpoint against an outstanding basketball team that will have a chance to make it to the tournament.
Thank you, Coach. Just go take questions. Just raise your hand if you have one. We'll start with Drew up front.
Coach, talk about the effort you got both from Tevin Mack and Riley Norris. They kind of bookended each other. And Riley, as you said, in Huntsville, he's getting back in shape, but he seemed to really spark you again tonight with some intangible plays.
Lots of intangibles, and they're not on this stat sheet, but there are things that we chart on our defensive rating, whether it's taking a charge, loose balls. You know, we had a little bit of a mix-up there at the end when we were trying to get Kyra in space to get the ball in, but Riley's one of our better inbounders, he and Reese and Herb, so that doesn't necessarily show up on stat sheets. Team defender. But you know, like we've said, we don't necessarily need Riley to play 38 minutes a night for us like we did in our first year here, but those 18 minutes he played tonight and what he did in Huntsville, that's winning basketball. And that always finds a way to have some sort of a role in a rotation.
And as you said, Tevin, his baskets seem to be coming a big time, and he scored them kind of in bunches.
Yeah, his basket, and you know, we need his three-point shooting. We only made 4 tonight. That's not going to be good enough for us moving forward. We only attempted 10, but we were efficient. And Tevin's threes from the left corner was right on time for us. And you know, when he took the ball to the basket, and we got to continue to improve with our three-point shooting. And you know, making good decisions. We still had a couple of careless turnovers, you know, across the board. You know, on a night like tonight, the way we were flowing, this could have been easily a 7-8 turnover night instead of 12.
On the right side, Alex.
Avery, you talked about the defensive efficiency. You know, but Penn State started 5 of 9 from 3. Obviously, they didn't finish so well, 2 of 16. But so, what changed there once they were, you know, I guess midway through the first half? What were y'all able to do?
Well, I just think we did a better job of understanding who the personnel was. You know, coming into this game, we just said, look, if Stevens, or if he's shooting a bunch of contested threes, we got to live with the results. But we absolutely do not want Bolton and Myron Jones and Dredd to make a three. Now, Buttrich got away from us there in the left corner in the second half, so we didn't do a good job there. So we got something to teach about. We got sucked in too much on the weak side. But it's teachable moments. But I like that we understood the personnel of our opponent probably as good as we've understood the personnel of any opponent leading up to this game. And then that translated to fast, high-speed offense, which got us in the open space before they got their defense there.
And you talked all season, it was pointed about getting Kyra help offensively, having other people step up. How big has Dante been? He explained he graduated, so he's feeling a little freer now. So how big has he been the last 2 games?
It's Dante and it's John Petty and it's Dejon Ingram and Herb Jones took the ball strong to the basket. You know, we were embarking on potentially 5 or 6 guys in double figures tonight. You know, one guy at 8, one guy at 7, one guy at 6. That's kind of how we need to play. And fortunately, this was a good, you know, I like going to church and this is the Christmas season, so I'm not going to say Sunday school, but this was a good school lesson about college basketball for our 17-year-old, just how physical it can be. And sometimes, you know, when you get grabbed and hold, you know, sometimes they don't see it. So you gotta figure out a way to really break free and make plays. So it was good for him. This was a good video for him to watch on his Christmas break. He doesn't need to watch Christmas movies. He can watch this game.
Let's go back right, Cecil.
Just to follow up on Dante, why has he become more aggressive offensively in the last couple of years?
You know, Caesar, one of the things I share with Dante is you have to edit your behavior on where you're trying to go. So if you're trying to go somewhere and do something really big, then your practice habits, attention to detail, you have to watch more film when you're not in our building. You got to be more of a, you know, I know we're student athletes, but you got to have more of a professional workman-like attitude around the clock if you want to do something special and go somewhere special. So give him credit, Cecil. We coach him up hard. We challenge him a lot. And fortunately, to his credit, he's been responding. But he's becoming more of a student of the game compared to his first 3 years here. But, you know, I called him on the phone the other night. What are you doing? He said, well, I'm watching practice. I'm watching our next opponent. He never did that.
Let's go to the left side, Chris.
Can you put into words how big it is to beat Arizona and then Penn State in a 12-day span like this?
Well, I don't think my wife's gonna buy me anything special for Christmas because it happened. You know, I'm getting the same old tie. You know, and then it's gonna be crimson. I'll wear it, you know, for our first game in the SEC. But I just think it's how do you respond when you relinquish a 21-point lead at home, and then you have a segment of a small segment. Now, small segment, not a big segment. A small segment of maybe doubters and fans that say they've given up on you and we're not coming back anymore. But the other 99%, this was a great crowd tonight. We tested this compared to going, obviously, where we went to Birmingham, and I thought the crowd was outstanding tonight. They were really into the game, and thank you for coming. But I think it was a great testimony to how were we going to respond after such a, I still have that taste in my mouth. And give them credit that they were able to bounce back and not drop their heads. And that didn't look like the same team that played 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when we gave up that lead. So give them credit for working hard and bouncing back and not keeping their heads down.
Do a couple more questions. Start Marquise.
With such a long stretch between, you know, the 3 games that you guys just played and strong performances to the next game, which is, you know, against Stephen F. Austin, and that's on the road. How, you know, during this stretch, how do you kind of get your team still staying in that mindset of, you know, we got to carry on this momentum on the road, especially with a team like Stephen F. Austin?
Well, I just think right now they need the rest. They need to go home and be with their families because this is our last break. There are no more breaks after this. So it'll be great for them to go and rest. And, you know, some of our guys, they got a little couple of bumps and bruises. They can heal up a little bit. You know, Herb didn't practice yesterday, but he had great energy today. But I just think we just have to worry about us. Can we get better with closing out? Can we get better with making decisions? We still had a couple of charges when we drove to the basket. Can we get on 2 feet and not run over the defender? And I think if we can continue to get better in areas where we know we need to improve, it's going to just be a different jersey. Somebody for Stephen F. Austin can shoot, somebody can rebound. Somebody stronger going left, somebody stronger going right. Somebody loves to take charges. It's on every scouting report. You just keep flipping the name. But what team is going to be the mentally tougher team, who's going to compete. We complained too much in the first half. That was my halftime speech. I didn't like how we complained about not getting a call. That's not our DNA. We did a better job of just staying focused in the second half. So those are the things I'm more concerned about with our team.
Last question, Alex.
And obviously the 24-0 run, you know, what do you attribute to that? And it seemed like there were a lot of like tough inside plays that just kind of worked, and you know, like you said, it seems like they added a little bit of toughness at some point.
Yep, and I told our team, this is a blood, sweat, and you've heard blood, sweat, and tears. This is a blood, sweat, and no tears game. If you cry, you can't play tonight. You just can't play for us. Because you got to go. This team was physical. And I thought we did a good job of being strong with the ball, on balance inside. I thought our weak side defense protection was good, which enabled us to get out and run. I mean, we're a fast team. I mean, when you talk about Herb Jones running in Kyra with the ball, and Tevin Mack as fast as anybody on our team, Dante runs like a gazelle. So, you know, we can get out and run, but we have to get quality stops. They stole a couple of outlet passes. That's an area we got to improve in. But I just thought stops and run and getting more than 2 stops in a row, 3 stops in a row, multiplying it really helped us during that stretch.
All right, thank you,
All right,
Coach.
thanks. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.